Coming up on the Unscrewed Mind, Rusty and I answer the unanswerable question. Am I manifesting right? The Unscrewed Mind. Welcome back to another Unscrewed Mind podcast upload. This is it. I finally made it through our library of old episodes and made my last audiogram for the foreseeable future. This is episode 16 titled, Am I Manifesting Right? Link is in the description below. And of course, you can get it wherever you get your podcasts. Well, how do you do it? How do you manifest right? There are signs from the universe that let you know you're heading in the right direction, like manifesting numbers, meaningful coincidences, or synchronicities. But the truth is, and I'm going to tell you a little secret, there's no wrong way to do it. Set your intention, have faith, remain patient, and the universe is going to give you exactly what you want. If you've been following along with our channel, you know that I've been trying to manifest 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Here's a link to that video if you want to check it out. Over the course of March, I was using the technique called scripting to try and hit 1K subscribers on YouTube. And we started with 10 subscribers. As of the recording of this video, which is March 30th, we have 11 subscribers. Progress, but we're not quite where we want to be. Here's the thing though. I know for a fact that our content is getting better. And I also know that a sign that you're manifesting correctly is that you have to deal with a little bit of adversity. So I feel really good about where we are. In April, I'm switching things up and I'm going to try a new manifestation technique. Be on the lookout for that video later this week where I'll let you in on the technique I'm going to be using to hit 1,000 subscribers in April. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you on the next video. Coming up on episode 16 of the Unscrewed Mind, Rusty and I asked the question, am I manifesting right? And the answer is always a resounding yes. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Today's topic is, what is it, Matt? I forgot. No, really.
You forgot?
No, it's, I can't remember. Is it manifesting? What did I say? The correct way to manifest. The correct way to manifest, right?
It's a working title, but I think it was like, am I doing this right? Or
am I manifesting correctly?
Am I manifesting correctly?
So exactly. We're going to say the topic today is, am I manifesting correctly? This is good because this is a little bit more personal to me. And I think that Matt got to witness it firsthand of me having some major internal battles going on with myself, because I was to a point where I was listening to hours and hours of different people on YouTube, past lectures, whether it was Wayne Dyer, Neville lecture, Abram Hicks stuff, the newer guys that are on YouTube, Jake Ducey, Bob Proctor.
What's the Aaron guy's name?
I can't ever say his last name. Well, there's two Aarons. There's Aaron Ibeak, and that name is probably messed up, and Aaron Dotrey. And so I'm listening to all of these different things, and Matt is more of the kind of person that likes to read it, and he doesn't like to really, you don't like to listen to it as much. And I like to read it, but I also like to be able to either do something else or, not necessarily be in a lighted room. Like if I'm going to bed at night, I'm still able to listen, even though I wouldn't be able to read as well on my phone. I don't like to read on my phone. I like to read the actual book because I feel like that my eyes start getting, like I can't see it as well on the phone after a while. So anyway, the point of this is I was trying multiple different manifestation methods at one time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think that's
And
easy to do too, because there's like, if you listen to one person, they say that all you got to do is feel good. If you listen to another person, they're like, you got to visualize it. And then someone else is like, if you're not writing it down, there's no way it's going to work. And so you just find yourself, you're juggling all of these manifestation techniques, and it'll paralyze you. Like, it'll freeze
yes.
you and make you feel like you're doing something incorrectly.
And so the next thing is do I feel like that one of the way of focusing on, I mean, which one of these ways works the best for us, or works the best for Matt, or works the best for me? And it's to me, I mean, you've got the top ones are write down your goals, read them every day, read them for 30 days, carry another one is carry a goal card in your pocket, look at that goal card, touch that goal card, that kind of thing on an everyday basis. So there's two ways to look at this. One, if you're holding on to it, and all of these different people are saying different things. They're saying, well, you got to let go of it and you've got to detach from it. But then another person is saying, hold the gold card, look at it multiple times a day. Well, are you able to detach from something that you're looking at 50 times a day? And so I think it's really boils down to, back to another one. So write down your goals is one. The gold card is, I consider that different because it says a singular focus instead of multiple items to focus on. So that's a little bit different. Write down your goals and put them into a drawer or into storage and let them grow, like a beanstalk, basically. It's starting off, it's like planting a seed. And I love that reference. I think that's a really good one. And, which one is the most simple to whoever? Well, I think the real question to ask yourself is which one of these would I be most likely to follow through with, or would I feel most comfortable with? And when you start thinking that the way that you're manifesting is the wrong way to manifest, you're right. Right?
Yep. I mean, makes sense.
So as what I kind of came across is I see things happening, see things moving, but it really doesn't correlate with which one of these ways of manifesting that I'm doing. And I definitely get it that you've got all these people saying this works, this works, this works. Well, they're all right. And you could even make up your own way to manifest if that's what you desired. But the main message is to believe in yourself and to reprogram the way that you're thinking, because you have thought this one way and you've gotten results for so long with that thought process.
Right.
So the overarching goal is to reprogram and to feel better about your current environment. And I'm going to tell you, when I was researching all of them, I was not feeling good, because I was just like, do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Do I need to do that? And, I think that a big thing is these people are definitely making money off of all of these different ways of doing it, because they're sharing this information. They're on a goal. They have a goal of sharing the information, which is great, but it's also something that people produce money with. Right. And so you have to take that into consideration and know that they believe what they're telling you. And so many of them will tell the 10 different ways too. They'll say, one day they'll be focused on, this is the way that you do it. And then 2 weeks later, they're focused on another way to do it. And they're just telling about experiences that they've had in their life and things that have worked for them, and just trying to share something that may make it easier for you. But the thing that really helps me the most is looking back across my life and looking at manifestations that have taken place back in time. And I don't know how well, I know that we've talked about this before, Matt. Have you honed in on certain manifestations that have happened in your past that you can attribute to the law of attraction? If you look at the circumstances and how it came about.
Oh, that's like a loaded, difficult question to answer sort of on the spot. I mean, I don't really like know of a whole lot that sticks out. I don't know if that means I've had like a really boring existence, but I do believe that things that have happened in my life have led me to this point. And at the time, they seemed like they were, catastrophic or stressful or worrisome or kind of against the grain of what I would have preferred to have happened. But all of them have led me to kind of this point in my life where I'm on this podcast and I'm with you and I'm in a new house and I've got a job that's great and a family that's awesome. Like I'm where I wanted to be 20 years ago when I had a conversation with my stepmom about how the job I was doing at the time wasn't what I wanted to do, and that my overarching goal was to have a house with a fenced-in backyard and a couple kids and a dog to run around in that backyard. And I have all that now, so I don't know if me just feeling like that is what caused that to happen. But I also, I wish I hadn't wished for the dog back in the day because I'm not really a huge pet fan. Could have done without that. But I don't know. I think I answered your question and didn't answer your question all at the same time.
Matt is lying. Everyone that's listening, Matt is lying. He loves the dog. He's in a love-hate relationship. That's just, he's attracting that into his life. He loves it. He wouldn't know what to do if he didn't have that dog.
I mean, you talk about letting go. That's one thing I wish I could let go of. Is that dog just like,
so I will tell a story of a manifestation that I know that you know, but and we've talked about that one of yours in the past. And I mean, you've got your overarching goal of your life in manifestation right now. Mm-hmm. And so this is a good story because I was pretty much at a place in my life that I had moved back to my home with my parents. I was probably 21, I think, at the time. And I had a good job at the time. And oddly enough, it was selling men's shoes, which is funny because Aaron Daughtry sold women's shoes in a lot of his videos. He talks about it. But
nice.
I was making good money for the time. I was making around $40,000 a year at 21, selling the shoes. And, I didn't feel good about myself. And when I moved back home, I actually lost that job on top of it. And I had to go to work somewhere that was less money. And it was, but I hadn't really been paying attention to me. I was just focused on all the outside events. Right. And so I knew that I wanted to make as much money as I had in the past and more. And I knew that currently I was only making, I think, around $30,000, $28,000 per year at my new job, which was at Circuit City. And I knew that
you ran that company into the ground, by the way.
I know, professionally. I actually, I'm really surprised Dillard's is still in business because I have a track record. I worked at Tony Rama's to begin with. It's out of business. I don't know if it's nationwide, but I think maybe there's a couple of them left. But the one I was working at definitely went out. Then I went to work for Just for Feet, and I literally put that completely out of business. So very impressive. I've tried to take Dillard's out just because, I mean, retail shopping is down at pandemics, everything, but they're still holding on.
Strong.
Yeah. And so anyway, it's pretty funny. I always laugh about that, but back to the manifestation. So I knew that I knew what my goal was, right? Make more money than I had at Dillard's. Okay. And then I knew that I wanted to be in a relationship with somebody that had a very set characteristics that I was wanting. Okay. And so, and the crazy part about it is one of those characteristics that I was looking for. I mean, I'm pretty extreme. I wanted the person's name to be starting with an L.
Why?
Just because I felt like a lot of the people in my family, the ladies start with L, so it goes well with my last name, which is Swift.
The L's go well.
It's programming, Matt. What else can you say? So
deep. It's like goes through all the men in your family. Like, just got to have an L. Nothing else matters.
Well, everyone in my family is named Rusty or has Russell in their name, but I'm the only one that goes by Rusty, so works out. But anyway, so within a 2-year time period of only working on myself, not out looking for anyone, not focused on. I was focused only on getting in better shape, feeling better about myself, resting. I wasn't watching TV like I used to. I was just focused on me, praying nightly, and so badly wish I would have understood meditation at the time, because that would have been so helpful. But I was really at a point in my life where I was like, I've got to change everything about me to get what I want from this point. Right. So I was going to the gym every day. I was, doing a good job at my current job at Circuit City, and the Xbox 360 came out on whatever year this was. I think it was like 2005, 2006. And my apartment had burned down on Christmas Eve the previous year. So my apartment burns down, and I had all of these shoes from Circuit City, all of these clothes from Dillard's in there, because you get a discount. So I just had tons and tons of stuff. So I'm outside waiting for the Xbox 360. There is a guy in the line that is a fireman, a volunteer firefighter is in the line. Okay. I'm telling somebody else in the line about it, and he goes, "Are you talking about the apartment that burned down on the street that my apartment was burned down?" I was like, "Yeah, that's it." He said, "Did you know that there's a class action lawsuit against them?" And I was like, "No." So I literally called the law firm on the following Monday, and within 6 weeks of me waiting outside for an Xbox 360, I got a check for $17,000 because the apartment was negligent in cleaning out the chimneys.
Okay.
My goal was to make more money, right?
Made it.
And it was to improve myself. And literally that was like the opening up of a totally different career for me. And it gave me everything that I needed in that time period to get ready for what was happening the next year, which, I got all new clothes, because I was struggling to get all the clothes that I had back and that kind of stuff. So I got all new clothes. I had lost probably like 80 pounds. I had been smoking cigarettes, quit smoking. just everything that people view as negative, I guess, I was erasing from my life. And then I was out one day, and I was talking to, there was another girl that I wasn't dating. I was just walking through the mall with her, and I see this girl, which is now my wife, Lindsay, in the, she was working the cologne counter in Dillard's, and I walk up to her. I was scared to ask her out because that's just how I am. For some reason, nobody would think that.
Yeah, that I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, and so she actually asked me out, and it was pretty funny that I'm that big of a baby. But anyway, so the point is I know now that that was a manifestation all the way through, from how much I made the exact, when I got the new job after Circuit City,
Mm-hmm.
I was also making the exact amount of money more that I wanted to. So I had a goal in mind on the money. I had a goal in mind on the person that I would meet. And that was, what color hair, what they have done from a school background. I mean, it was ridiculous. I had like a laundry list of things that I wanted to be able to check mark off. And
Uh-huh.
all of it happened. The money, everything came into fruition at one time. And it only took around 18 months for all of this stuff to happen. At the time period, I've always been the kind of person that thinks everything is going to work out for me the way that I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. And it was just amazing. And I moved on to my new goals, but I never really have shot for the moon on things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was limiting them. So I go around to say all that I want everyone that is out there that is worried about the way that they're manifesting to, one, stop worrying about that, because
Mm-hmm.
you've been manifesting your whole life. Um, and is what you need to focus on more than your manifestation is just setting those goals out there, and then thinking about, if I were to tell you that, whatever your goal is, if you want to make $1 million, how long in your head right now do you think it takes to make $1 million? That's a more important question than how am I manifesting correctly? Because if you think
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to have to do this, and this, and this, and you haven't done any of those things, the manifestation is going to take a lot longer to come along, because you've got an idea in your mind about what has to take place in order for this to happen. And unless you can change that, that's your real roadblock. And things will unfold, but they just won't unfold on the exact timeline that you want. What do you got to add to this, Matt? What do you think about the different ways of manifesting that? Like, what do you like? What is your preferred method for manifestation?
I would say that what you raised an interesting point at the very beginning, that the most important part of the equation is you, right? And you need to go to work on yourself, kind of as the first step towards manifesting a greater life or a better version of yourself. I will say that there are a lot of ways out there to do it. I've been trying visualization here for the past few months, and the hard part is, like, visualization, like meditation, and I mean, like anything, takes practice to kind of get your mind right, to kind of build that vision and be able to hang on to it for an extended period of time. So I'm working on that. I kind of miss having my goals written down and reading
Mm-hmm.
those multiple times a day. I think I like that one a lot better. And I think the reason why is similar to how scripting or journaling is popular with a lot of people, is that when you write it down, you kind of get your thoughts out on paper. It's written word just seems like it holds more power than, thoughts in your head, because like even, if you want to learn something, you read it out of a book, or you find it on the internet and it's typed out and it's there and it's something that you can reference and go back to. So what I've liked so far, the best method that I've found so far has been that journaling or that writing, and then reading those things over and over again, kind of to affirm or kind of cement the changes or the goals that I'm trying to set. So for me, for my money, writing down goals and reading that stuff as often as you can is probably the best one I've found so far.
Yeah, I think the Think and Grow Rich ideology is pretty much the one that we lean towards liking the most, both of us. And I think that it just, when you're waking up and you're going to sleep and you're looking at those items, you're thinking about them, you're excited about them, you're not going multiple days, forgetting it. But I will say that if you feel like that your action is preventing it from coming into fruition, do whatever action that you think that you need to be doing, because there's no reason to sit and worry about if you're blocking something, if you can unblock it by doing whatever it is that you're thinking.
And I'd say try them all, no matter where you're at on your journey, give another one a shot, or, work it in and see. And, everyone wants to manifest like the pipe dream, right? Like the yacht or the perfect job or whatever. But I think it's important to start small and, flex that muscle a little bit. Like you talk about manifesting a specific color car, even in like if you watch like comic books, like Spider-Man movie, he like tries climbing on a ceiling before he tries jumping off of the top of the skyscraper, so
right.
Kind of baby step it if you can, and see if you can manifest something small, and then kind of build off of that success and feel good about something.
Yeah. And just remember that you were manifesting your reality prior to knowing that you were manifesting your reality. So you've been driving a ship in one direction for however long you've been alive, and you've had the focus on whatever you're doing right now for how many ever years. So give the ship some time to turn.
Yeah.
And
a good point.
time is something that we get really tied up in as a human race. I mean, we're always looking at what time is this, what time is that, and we're moving from one thing to another, meetings here, meetings there. But you're trying to say that you want to be a millionaire, but you want it to happen overnight, but you don't think that that is even possible. That's what you have to understand. And you have to understand that your ship is sailing and you're just changing the direction of the course. So don't give up on anything. Letting go of it, detaching from it is one thing, and really I've come to feel differently about letting go or detaching from it. It's more about not focusing on your happiness being controlled by circumstances that are not in place today. And you need to focus on what you're thankful for in today's circumstances, and less on what you would be like if this or that will happen. Because there's so many things that I have manifested and they were not important things. Physical items are truly not as important as a relationship that has lasted for years and years, And so if you're sitting there focused on, oh, I've got to get this new car, and you're neglecting everything else, it's like, is that car really going to change the circumstance when you get in it? Or is it just going to be a short-term feeling change, and then you're going to be stuck in the old rut just driving that new car. Just hold on to your dreams. They're coming. And, love yourself and love the people that are around you that are supportive of you, and just be thankful of this moment and focus on this moment as opposed to another moment that you may not have all of the things that you have right now, and you're just trying to strive to get there, and you're just leaving everything else behind. And that's something, for me, that is huge to say, because I was definitely not in this moment.
Become a part of the Unscrewed Mind by following us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Unscrewed Mind. Also, feel free to email Rusty and I. Our address is unscrewedmind@gmail.com. Tell us what you thought of the show, pitch a subject for a future show, or just say hi. And until next time, stay grateful.